recording just so I don't forget, Maureen.
Not that
We
I've ever
do.
done that.
All right.
So tomorrow night is going to be specifically on grade school. So there's an open house tomorrow night, same time,
We can,
specifically on grade school. So we'll cover it tonight, and I can take your questions, Kathleen. I'm happy to do that. When we get to that part. So tonight will be kind of a microcosm, a little part of grade school. Where tomorrow the creator of the grade school program, Jackie, will be with us, and she's also the teacher, so you can specifically, ask her questions. So my own daughter is going to be signing up with her children, my grandchildren.
uh,
So
all right. So, Kathleen, we're trying to work out some particulars with the reminders that are going out. So, forgive me if that went out and it was an error. That's tomorrow night. Yeah. So, hopefully,
oh no.
hopefully it's your mistake and not mine, but it could be my mistake. I've been catching some errors in the emails I've been sending. I'm not sure why, because I've gone in a couple of times to make sure they're updated, but the reminders seem to be resetting. So I'm not sure what's happening, frankly. But anyway,
They're
so
so close together.
well, it might be
Okay, so
that.
Kathleen, if you want to leave and come back tomorrow, it won't hurt our feelings.
Yeah, you're not gonna hurt our feelings, but we'd love to have you. But yeah, if you need to get going, that's fine. Tomorrow night will be for the grade school. All right,
Oh, good. She wants them both, so
glad to have you for both.
you haven't
All
messed
right,
up your schedule too badly.
okay. Well, I guess Maureen, I guess we can go and get started, shall we?
Yeah, let's get started.
All right. Well, let's formally welcome everyone to the open house. My name is Walter Crawford, and that is Maureen Whitman, as you can tell. And we're just glad that you could join us. We're going to go ahead and start off with prayer, as we do with all of our classes. The students are invited to join the teachers in prayer, and so we'll do the same. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you very much for this day. Thank you for the many blessings you continue to bestow upon us. Help us as we navigate these uncertain times, as we attempt to find the best means possible to educate our own children, and that this would be an informative session for parents trying to make those decisions, and that Maureen and I are here to help answer those questions and help give them information that's going to help give them the guidance necessary to help them make the best decision for their children. It is in this we pray, amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. So yeah, thank you for coming, everybody. Tonight we have a pretty jam-packed agenda, and we're here to talk to you about our curriculum. We're as a worldwide provider. We're going to get into specifically the scope of Homeschool Connections, but we're here. It's where families and students from all around the world, and we have students from all over the place that can easily and affordably get live and recorded courses to confidently and easily give the best possible and highest levels of learning at home. Our intention, and in fact, that's why we call ourselves Homeschool Connections. Our intention is to connect your homeschool with the experts. That's really what our first tagline, if you will, was when we first started way back when. And we'll get into that in just a moment, a little bit of our history. But tonight we're going to share with you the 4 areas of learning and courses that are here for you. So there's live courses, unlimited access, which are recorded courses, and they're available for 3rd through 12th graders, grade school, and the Aquinas Writing Advantage. Those are our 4 primary offerings that we have to offer here at Homeschool Connections. We'll get into how courses work, what's it like to be in the classroom online. We'll give answers to your questions, of course. So we invite you to ask your questions throughout the session. So just feel free to type them in chat. We'll be happy to answer them. And we'll give you more information about specific courses and how to learn about some of our teachers. You also get information on how to integrate unlimited access or recorded courses into your learning at home, and find out how simple the technology can be easily added into what you're doing now. So our mission, as we said earlier, is to connect your homeschool, your Catholic homeschool, to the experts. Now, if you're not Catholic, that doesn't mean you can't be part of Homeschool Connections. So I want to be clear on that. But our primary endeavor is to we provide the best possible instructors who have a strong Catholic identity, um, to give the classes, to provide the classes to your students. In the spirit of the new evangelization, and in light of John Paul the Great's teaching on the domestic church, this is our mission. We use technology to help your family's homeschooling by providing you the exact resources and online courses that you need. Now, we're an award-winning organization, and this is only the tip of the iceberg, just so you know. But we've been doing this since 2013. No, is that right, Maureen? Am I right? No, no, I'm sorry, 2008. What am I thinking? 13 years. I'm thinking 13 years. Um, but we've been here since 2008, and we've won numerous awards since we first started. And you can see what the awards look like, from first place of online academies to first place, and that's in a couple of years, to second place in high school core and second place in online academies throughout. You can see since 2017. Actually, it goes back to 2013.
It goes back to 2013 when they started. So
Correct. That's
yeah,
right. The iLearn Awards started in 2013, and that's when we got our first award. So what do you know? And we also provide free informative webinars that are available on the website, but also we're a big part of the CatholicHomeschoolConference.com effort. That is something that started last year. It's a virtual conference hosted annually. It's not just a conference, though. It's far more than that, but all that information can be found at CatholicHomeschoolConference.com. But it's actually going to start. The next one is on May 19th, so a month from yesterday is when it kicks off. So highly encourage you to take a look at that, because that's going to be something available to all to anyone who wants to be part of it. So a really cool opportunity there. Yeah, I mean, it's got over 60 talks, as you can imagine, a ton of vendors, and there's a goodie bag too that you're going to get mailed to you. So it's really kind of neat. There's a lot going on there. But also, and as we talked about earlier, or at least alluded to, we provide affordable and engaging courses from university level professors and practitioners. And they provide a world-class education without the expense. So how do we start? Well, in October 2008, we started offering free webinars to Catholic homeschooling parents who couldn't make the conferences. That was really the intent of Homeschool Connections. And it all started really even before that, even, if you will, as an idea, as an output of my master's degree that I got in applied technology in training and development. In the corporate world that I once held a position in, it kind of got me started in online education, and then it transitioned into how we could offer online courses for Catholic homeschoolers, and that's where we are today. A little bit about me on a personal level. My family, we live in Texas. This happens to be from a gold mine in Colorado, but we have 6 kids ranging from the ages of 19 all the way down to 4. The 4-year-old just celebrated his birthday yesterday. So great kids. The oldest is now at the University of Dallas, and I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the chat. And so the oldest is in University of Dallas and thriving. By the way, she took some of our classes as part of her education. And the youngest, well, he's just learning to behave himself. So, and Maureen, do you want to talk a little bit about yourself? I mean, or should I talk to you about Maureen? Should I talk about Maureen?
Talk about me if you like. Go ahead.
All right, I'll talk about Maureen. So here's Maureen's family. Maureen, we have a fantastic relationship, and I hope that comes through in tonight's webinar. But Maureen and I got to know each other as she was one of my original speakers when we first started Homeschool Connections. So she really wasn't a partner yet. But quickly, it was pretty obvious to me that that her involvement was necessary. Because she was so well connected and such an advocate for homeschooling, especially in the Catholic sphere. It was really important that she joined on. And so I asked her, and she happily said yes. After my wife and I flew up to Detroit to meet her and her husband, and we were very happy to get to know them better, and it was um, an instantly gratifying experience because we both hit it off, became instant friends, and have been ever since. So, um, Maureen is the author of the For the Love of Literature book and published by Behold Publication. She's a co-editor and contributing author to the Catholic Homeschool Companion, published by Sophia Institute Press, and the author of a Catholic Homeschool Companion, or I'm sorry, Treasury by Ignatius Press. She's been the contributing editor for a number of Catholic homeschooling magazines, articles appearing in Our Sunday Visitor, Homeschooling Today, Catholic Home Educator, New Covenant, Latin Mass, Catholic Faith, Catholic Digest, and many more. And she still blogs on our off of our blog, as a matter of fact. So there's a lot of stuff that we provide as a result of Maureen's efforts through the blog and her past publications. She speaks at conferences, so if you know one that needs a Maureen Whitman to speak at, reach out to us. She'd be a great addition to the litany of speakers. But
if they start to open up again.
Yeah, when the conferences start up again. But she and her husband Rob are the parents of 7 grown children. They were always homeschooled, and they have just graduated, their youngest. So she is free and clear, and she has moved on from that life. But now she's still supporting Catholic homeschoolers now, and still loves it so much. That's why she's here. She hasn't left. She could have shook the dust off her feet and said, "I'm done, Walter. I'm out." But that never happened. So we're glad we're so thankful that she's still with us. So, but yeah, so a little bit about kind of more to the point about how it kind of goes, more to the details here. So again, I made reference to the fact that we were doing webinars for parents, but we did some polling, and we asked the parents, say, what do you want? What would you like to see speakers for the webinars? What would be of interest to you? And really they said, hey, I'm fine, but that's good, but I'd really love for you to see this technology used for my high school student. That's really where they needed help. And they prompted us to ask, can we do online classes for the high school and specifically? And Maureen and I kind of put our heads together and said, I guess, but I don't think we're the best people to teach them. So we went ahead and did it. But our first courses weren't from either Maureen or myself. Neither of us have taught a class for Homeschool Connections because we felt we'd be better administrators than teachers. And then specifically, we thought even more to the point that we needed people who are passionate, well connected to the topic at hand, and really wanting the students to succeed. And so we sought those people. And that's where and our first teacher was a government class with Ed Rivette, and that's in April of 2009. Where he was then the legislative director for the Michigan Right to Life, and he's actually one of the main reasons why a lot of the Right to Life laws are on the books now because of his effort. Henrik Russell was shortly added thereafter. He's currently the headmaster of the St. Augustine Homeschool Enrichment Program. And he's fantastic. He's a wealth of knowledge around literature. And Maureen, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was once the at least part of the he's part of the faculty at Ave Maria when it was in Michigan, correct?
Right. So he taught. He was actually a professor at Franciscan University, and then he went to Ave Maria when it was in Michigan, and he designed their literature program. So a little tidbit for you. If your kids take Henry's classes and they go to Ave Maria, they'll ace the literature. So my kids' experience, they were able to ace all their literature classes at Ave Maria because they took classes with Dr. Russell.
So, and so the parents' response was overwhelming. As you can tell, that was the look of that's before that was when I was a little younger, that picture. Just kidding. But
it looks like kids, looks like Isaac.
But so Maureen, it's a common quote around here that we say, we've had a lot of teachers contact us, and we've also contacted a lot of teachers. And they came out of the blue, but we also contacted a lot of teachers, and the Holy Spirit put them in front of us. And we've always attributed, it's a common refrain here at Homeschool Connections that the Holy Spirit is our CEO. And even the meeting that Maureen and I had, I mean, a quick story as a sidebar. While I was beginning to research really good Catholic homeschool speakers for Homeschool Connections in this online conference that we were trying to put together, again, I didn't have anybody, but I'd done some surveys from some local homeschool moms, and names came up like Danielle Bean, Maureen Whitman, Alicia Van Hecky, and a few others.
Yeah.
What's that?
And Mary Kay Clark, she was one of our first speakers
Yeah,
too.
Mary Kay Clark, Kimberly Hunt, of course. So a lot of really good names were coming up, and I was reaching out to into them, each of them individually. But I needed a website too. I was already in the process of looking for one, and before I knew Maureen Whitman at all, I found the website that I wanted to model, at least in terms of the design, after, and it so happened to be Maureen Whitman's website, and I hadn't even talked with her yet, so didn't even know her very well. So a little bit of a sidebar, but it just shows you that the Holy Spirit had been leading us together to form this wonderful partnership to bring homeschool connections and make to create homeschool connections. So we attribute that to the Holy Spirit.
So, we're going to talk now a little bit about courses. All right. So we offer live and recorded courses. So first, let's talk about live. I think we're talking about live courses first, Walter. We have courses starting with 3rd grade all the way through 12th grade. We also do have adults who take our courses, but only in the recorded format. Only students can take live courses. So we have core courses, and then we have above and beyond courses. What we mean by that are non-core courses. So core would be biology, chemistry, right? Essay writing. The non-core courses, which is what we're really known for, would be computer science or space flight science or fiction writing. We have a lot of really great courses that encompass all of learning. So accounting, business, etc. And we also have a start to finish writing program that starts with 6th grade. Classes can be accessed by parents or any other individual who desires to learn more about a specific topic. But again, parents would be recorded classes, not live. You can get free live conference support with affirmation, support, new ideas. All of that, we provide that now through Catholic Homeschool Conference.com. So that's coming up again in May. And then we also offer smaller conferences throughout the year. We also offer a free podcast, Homeschooling Saints. So whether you use Homeschool Connections or not, this is a great podcast. It's designed for all Catholic homeschool families or really any homeschooler. It's really a terrific free support for your homeschool. So we're on our 2nd season, going into our 3rd next year. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the grade school program. So the grade school program is a unit study. Okay, it's project-based, and it's based on a little bit on the Charlotte Mason idea of living literature. So it's a very simplified program. It covers all of the subjects except for math and phonics. If you need a reading program, your child's still learning how to read, we recommend True North Reading. Walter, if you could type that for me in the chat box, so truenorthreading.com. Erin Brown is the designer of our writing program, but she's also the designer of that reading program. And she does provide a very nice discount to Homeschool Connections parents. For math, we can help you find the right math program if you're unable to do that yourself. We don't include math because just kids are at so many different levels. Homeschool Connections math starts with Saxon 5-4. So if you need younger, you would do that separately. But it does cover history, science, language, art, religion, everything all together as a unit study. And the students work on projects. You meet in the live classroom once a week with the teacher, Mrs. De La Viega, and there's a half-hour lesson, and then she turns off the recording, and students can sign up in advance and they can do presentations. So they can present their project, or maybe they want to recite a poem or something. So they share a little bit of what they're learning. It's really nice for the grade school students. You don't want to put a grade school student in front of the computer for too long, right? So this is very, the parent is involved. This is not a set your child in front of the computer and let the computer teach them. This is parent-led. Parent comes with their child to the class on Monday. We give the parents lesson plans. The lesson plans are Monday through Thursday. And so the parent is involved. And the feedback that we've gotten from parents has been along the lines of, I love homeschooling again. You've put the joy back into my homeschool, those kinds of things. So again, it's not we try to limit screen time and get the parent and child working together, and we support you in doing that. These can be taken as live interactive courses or recorded independent learning. And if you do it as a recorded course, you of course would not have that live interaction on Mondays that I talked about. It would just be the recording. So it is based on Philip Campbell. So Philip Campbell also teaches for Homeschool Connections. He wrote a homeschool program called Story of Civilization, which is geared for upper grade school, lower middle school. And that is the spine of this course. So there's also some living literature, like I said, but the spine, the main part of it is Story of Civilization by Philip Campbell. So it's a 4-year cycle. So year 1 is ancient, year 2 is medieval, year 3 is Renaissance and modern, and year 4 is US history. So the first year, we first did the grade school program 2 years ago with ancient. Yep. This year, right now, we are doing medieval, and next year will be Renaissance and modern. We have also decided to add ancient, so you can choose. If you do a live interactive course, you can choose to either do ancient or Renaissance and modern. If you're going to do it in recording, you can do ancient or you can do medieval. The Renaissance and modern is being taught live for the first time this upcoming school year. So it won't be available in recording for a year from now. So again, the 4-year cycle gives you coordinated courses for all your students. So what we've done is we make sure to schedule also middle school and high school courses that tie into that unit study. And that's so the whole family can learn together. So in my own homeschool, we always study the same era together as a family. So it wasn't like 9th grade, you do American, 10th grade, you do world or whatever. No, they did whatever the whole family was doing. They didn't do it in any particular order when they got to high school, because I wanted my children to learn as a family. So when I had my youngest in kindergarten, my oldest in high school, they were learning the same era of history at the same time. And then we built that as a unit study. So that was also literature and other subjects tied into that as well. And that's what we're doing with this 4-year cycle. So you don't have to do the 4-year cycle, for middle school and high school, but it's there if you want it. So this slide here shows you the years that it's available. So in the upcoming school year, ancient history is available both live and recorded, medieval and recorded only. And then it'll be available live again in 22-23. Renaissance Modern will be live this upcoming school year, live only. And American is not available yet. They will be available in 22-23. All right, so I pretty much already explained how it worked. Your meeting, we base it on 4 days a week. The 5th day, Fridays, are typically co-op day or field trip day, getting out of the house, getting out of the classroom. So flipped classroom just means you listen to the lecture and then you go off and you learn together, right? So everything you need is provided for you. Okay, and as I said, the week starts with the live 30-minute online class. That's every Monday if you're doing the live course. If you're doing the recorded, then you would just watch the recording. So again, students have the opportunity to present their work on camera during that live class meeting. So it's for 3rd through 6th grade. Now, sometimes sixth graders, it's kind of a funny age. Sometimes they're ready to work on their own, and some of them will do actual Homeschool Connections middle school classes. So it's just up to you if you want them to be part of the unit, or if you want them to be, if they're ready to sit for a 45-minute lecture, they could do our middle school classes. It's really nice because, again, you can learn as a family. So for example, my daughter, who is planning on doing the ancient unit this upcoming school year, has a third grader and a first grader. So while it's designed for third grade and up, Mrs. De La Viega does provide some learning resources for the younger kids. They can learn with the older students. So their exercises are kind of graduated. So like your third grader will be learning the same information as your sixth grader, but at a different level. So there'll be some more difficult exercises for that older child. And that, again, so you can learn as a family. Okay, and so again, Philip Campbell, who also teaches History for Homeschool Connections, is the author of our spine, and he will be offering middle school and high school classes next school year. Again, we recommend True North reading. Again, the author is the designer of the reading program, is also designer of Homeschool Connections writing program. It's a terrific savings. Okay, so let's talk about middle school and high school. So these are different than the grade school program. They are individual courses. For middle school, they tend to be 45 minutes. Some are as long as 50 or 55 minutes. High school classes tend to be 55 minutes, but some may go as long as 90. They cover all subjects: philosophy, logic, ethics, literature, ancient through modern, from Homer to Tolkien to Dracula, which, by the way, is one of my favorite novels. I read grudgingly at the insistence of my teens. Very, very Catholic novel. Also math. So starting again with Saxon 5-4, all the way up to calculus. And we use a number of different textbooks. Sorry?
Well, I was just going to, it's worth pointing out, so for those students who may not have a voracious appetite for math, or may not want to deal with the higher math per se, we do offer courses that will still suffice as upper level math, but not necessarily as intensive.
Right. So the way math works, if you're doing it in live, the students watch a recorded lecture and then they come to class and they can bring their questions to the live class and have the teacher answer. The teacher has not a blackboard, but a whiteboard. You can actually have like a pad and they can work out problems. My daughter's favorite math class at Homeschool Connections was financial algebra, which counts as algebra 2. However, you're learning algebra 2 concepts through how to figure out your mortgage, how to get a car loan, how savings, the stock market. In fact, they did the stock market challenge, which is a national thing. And my daughter ended up winning first place in the state through Homeschool Connections financial algebra course. So
let's point out that she's not the only one. We've had a number of winners since then. So yeah. We had another one just last year placed first, and another student placed, I think, sixth. And was this a national competition? I think it was, Maureen. I think
yeah, they do it by state. I don't know if they have a national. I know when Margaret did it was state by state.
Okay, well,
she was invited to have a place of honor at the head table at the Detroit Economic Club, which is a pretty big deal if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's very cool.
Yeah. So whatever you need in math, we offer a number of different textbooks. We have Saxon, of course, but we also have Glencoe. We also have Forster, Jacobs, Jurgensen's. We offer different math textbooks, so you can find the one that's a good fit for you and your family. Writing, we have a complete writing program. It's an excellent program. We actually had Franciscan University come in at one point because it's a very serious issue right now. Students going off to college and not knowing how to write properly, not knowing how to write a proper paragraph. So the Franciscan, the head of the curriculum there, came back and said, I wish all of our incoming freshmen took your course. You don't need to change anything. So Yes, so LaDonna asks, are high school classes 55 minutes every day for each class? No, typically 1 day a week. Okay, some classes when you get to upper level will meet twice a week. So for example, computer science, accounting, chemistry. So some courses meet twice a week, but usually once a week. Sometimes they will have a recorded lecture to watch in between that live class meeting. So most of the language courses do that, all of the French and Spanish, most of the writing, all of the math classes, they do that. And then the student is expected to be working on their own. So again, this is homeschooling. We don't want to mimic what the public schools are doing. So for example, in an online charter school, they do tend to meet every day for every subject. So your student is in front of a screen from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we don't want that. We want our students outside, and we want them engaging with their family, and we want them researching and writing and reading. So again, 55 minutes is the typical online class, some longer, but typically 55, once a week or twice a week.
And
And
I was
sometimes
just
with a
going to add to
20
that.
lecture in between recorded.
I didn't interrupt you, Maureen. I was just saying that
No, that's fine.
that can be a little off-putting for some parents because they're thinking, well, how are they going to get all the information they need to know for when they take test, or for
Right.
college, getting ready for college. Oddly enough, my daughter, who took a number of classes with us and also did a local co-op, which only met once a week as well, um, is felt like that formula worked very well for her simply because it gave her uh, basically it mimicked what it was like to be in college, because she now had to plan out the rest of her week on how she's going to get her work done and things of that sort. She's about to make the dean's list as a freshman for her first semester. She's on the dean's list, I should say. It hasn't been published yet, but um, and it's hard to get. And she's at the University of Dallas, which, if you're not familiar with that school, it's a very good school, very solid Catholic school, very good school in general because it's strong in its liberal arts area. Um, so anyway, the point being is that some may think that's a bit odd that you only do one class a week and still get what you need, but she did it, and she's done it quite well. We've had a lot of
Well,
students.
and I would say in the homeschooling world, it's perfectly normal though. I mean, homeschooling just takes far less time than school in a regular classroom. And one reason for that is we can get right down to business. We're not changing classes. We're not taking roll. We're getting right down to work. So, and one really important thing to know, in every live classroom, there are always two adults. There's the teacher and there is the course monitor. And the course monitor is there so that the teacher can focus on teaching. And if anyone has any technical issues, the course monitor can jump in and help that student or help the teacher. The course monitor is also keeping an eye on chat, making sure that chat is on topic and is courteous, and then also letting the teacher know if there's a question that he or she may miss. So again, it works out very, very well. And in between classes, again, they're reading, they're doing homework, they're doing assignments, projects, whatever that course calls for.
Yep.
So, the writing program, again, it's a full writing program starting with punctuation and grammar, 6th through 12th grade. If you're coming in at 9th grade, you just start with the 9th grade writing. If you're coming in at 10th, 11th, or 12th grade, then I would recommend doing the writing assessment. You can drop us an email. We'll get you connected to the writing assessment. And then we'll just tell you where to start. Again, we have all the sciences, physical science, biology, chemistry, physics, health. We also have some out of the box science courses. We have a course coming up just on evolution. We have courses on Catholic theology in the realm of science. We have, especially in middle school, a lot of really fun courses such as grossology, which is about, it's a middle school course about things like making slime and things like that. Or we have bug camp this summer, which is all about entomology. Macbeth Durham teaches a course called The Dog, and it's a biology course where they go deep and spend a whole semester studying the dog. So very, very, very good courses that really engage the student and get them excited about science so that when they do get to biology, chemistry, physics, they are ready for it. So also psychology and social sciences. So we have Psychology Live this coming up school year. And it's also available in recording. Geography, geology, space science, unfortunately, this year is only available recorded, but that's a great course with a NASA scientist. Theology, tons and tons of Catholic theology. So apologetics with great Catholic apologists like Gary Machuda and Trent Horn and Tim Staples from Catholic Answers. Theology of the Body with people like Bill Donahue from the Theology of the Body Institute. Scripture studies, just so much, everything you could imagine or need, the Didache, et cetera. Government, law, economics, all of that is covered. So,
And we even offer a class on elections every 4 years, right? To talk about
right, we do the election course every 4 years in the 6 weeks leading up to the presidential election. And yeah, we always fill that thing up. We had hundreds of students sign up this year. It's an excellent course, but it is available in recording at this time. Computer skills. If you have a child who loves Minecraft, we have a summer course on coding with Minecraft. It's already filled up and closed, so we added a second segment, but I expect that to fill and close too. And I don't know if she's available to do a third one. So if you want that, sign up today. But during the school year, live this coming up school year, we have Introduction to Computer Science, and we also have AP level. So you can get college credit. That's an AP approved course. Languages, we offer a wide range of languages: Spanish, German, French, American Sign, Biblical Greek, and also Latin. So big news, the upcoming school year is the year of Latin at Homeschool Connections. So Walter, you want to put that code in the chat?
You read my mind, Maureen.
Yeah. So Walter's going to put a code in. So for the fall and spring, use this coupon code when you go to sign out, and make sure you hit the apply button and it shows up 50% off, and try out the Latin courses. They're excellent. Over the summer, we're doing some advanced Latin intensives. So if you have a child who's ready for advanced Latin, those you don't need the coupon code because they're already marked like 75, 80% off. You can get a whole year of Latin in 6 weeks this summer. They meet every day, 4 days a week for 6 weeks. Of course, we have all the history, ancient through modern, American through contemporary, just lots of great history classes, lots of great teachers, Dr. Christopher Martin and Philip Campbell and others. I really love our history program. We also have art, music, speech. So Kevin O'Brien teaches a lot of these, not all of them, but he is a professional athlete or professional actor, as well as a teacher. So his classes are really fun, where he'll come to class dressed in costume. So for example, when he taught Dante, he came as Dante and taught as though he was Dante. So lots of fun. Again, art, music. The art classes for this summer are filling up and closing too. We have an excellent student course, which is free. I highly recommend this if your students haven't taken it. So that is for everybody, whether you do Homeschool Connections or not. That excellent student course is free. It's 4 classes, and all my kids took it. I really like it. We also have ACT prep. We have a course coming up live this coming up school year called Adulting. So they learn all those things you need to know as an adult, like how to fix your car, how to balance your checkbook, all those basic things. So again, there are 2 ways to take courses. 1, live interactive, or 2, unlimited access. So Walter, I'm gonna let you take over here.
No, I was going to tell you, you're stealing my thunder, Maureen. Yeah, so we have two types of courses, as Maureen pointed out. The live courses, which are, as you might imagine, live, and then there's the pre-recorded courses. The live, we have over we're looking at 200 live courses for the upcoming school year, and then unlimited access, or the recorded courses, we have over 450 courses available with over 60 instructors. So let's talk a little bit about the live courses in more specific terms. They do meet on a scheduled date and time, which is available in the actual online catalog that you can, if you go to our registration page, you can see exactly when they meet. In addition to that, if you do register for a particular course, which is kind of nice, upon getting the confirmation email at the very bottom of it, you'll get an attachment that allows you to place that date and time on your calendar. And I think you need to make it a repeating event so that it falls for the duration of the course, but it'll show up on any digital calendar that you have. That way you get the reminder and that you know when your students are supposed to be in class, that sort of thing. The students, and I'll get to this in a minute, do get a reminder email, which we'll talk about in a moment. Um, the live courses are going to be listed in our course catalog. It's being finalized. We've been trying to get that done, and only because we haven't published it because we're waiting. There it is. Maureen's got a copy of it in her hand. She's the only one who has a copy of it, by the way. She's reviewing it, as a matter of fact, to make sure that there's no particular egregious errors. And to that end, we have been working on trying to get our writing program's grown a lot. And so we're trying to fill in, meet the demand by trying to create or have new instructors teach some courses for us. So to that end, we've been hiring some wonderful teachers, and we want to include them in the catalog, which is
well, and the registration page is open, and that works as a catalog.
correct.
So searchable, and so it's not, yeah, the catalog is available in that sense where, and I'll put this in the chat for you guys so you can go there. So that does work, but the catalog itself, it's almost done.
There you
But
go.
in the meantime, you can go sign me up, and it's searchable, and you just click on the course name, click on read more, and it tells you all about that course.
Yep, exactly right. And classes begin on a specific date and they all end on a specific date. And we detail that out, and the teachers are very good at communicating anything that might change. So as you can imagine, we recruit, and we'll get into this in a minute, but some very high quality, highly teachers who are in demand, right? These people are not just wonderful teachers, but they're also experts in their field. So they're being pulled in a lot of different directions. So if they're called to a conference or what have you, they're communicating with the students, communicating with the parents, letting them know of any changes that need to be made to the calendar. But generally speaking, those days are baked in, and there's not a lot of adjustments to the calendar. What you see is what you get, and that's usually how it works. There are a few exceptions, but 99% of the time, what you see is what you get. So they start on a specific time and date. They enter in an online classroom, not unlike what you did here when you came into the webinar room. The difference being is that the students can get on camera if the instructors allow for it. Their mics are open so that the students can talk and ask questions over the audio bridge. And the monitor is also in the room to help greet them, to make sure they feel at ease and comfortable, and the technology is working the way it should, not only for the students, but for the teachers. So as we're pointing out here, the teachers teach, and as you might imagine, the monitors monitor. So I think I got the monitors. I guess you can say that too. Yeah. So, but so they do those, they roll clarity here. Then that's really important to us to make sure that learning happens. Students are focused, and the teachers are focused, and the monitors focused on both of them. And finally, the students have the chance to interact. It's not simply about, unilateral conversation, unilateral dictated, lecture. This is about getting the kids engaged, enjoying the content, enjoying learning. Really, that's the most important thing. We want to create lifelong learners and inspire the students. And that's a beautiful thing about these teachers, is they are so gifted at that. They're incredibly, because they're passionate about the material, they write the classes. These are their classes. These are their creations. So naturally, they're engaged in the material. It's not like a literature teacher is being asked to teach a physics class. Nothing of that. These people, they're the ones who created their own class. And so they're naturally engaged. And frankly, we have a lot of kids say, I love this teacher because of X, Y, and Z. I love them because they did this. I love them because they did that. I love them because they love the material. And it's indicative of how they carry on the class. There is homework that's due. in most of the classes. And it may range from an essay to a quiz to a presentation to a project. Anything that you might see in a traditional classroom, a brick and mortar classroom, if you will, you'll see here. And so that brings us to the recorded courses, the second part of what we have to offer. Again, I mentioned earlier, there are over 150 courses for one price, and it includes all the students in the family. The annual price for what we call unlimited access is $360 for one full year. So that's for over 450 courses. So your entire family can log in at the same time or different times using one account, accessing a variety of different courses, again at the same time or at different times, all for one price of $360 for a full year, or they can do it on a monthly basis for $34.97 per month. The first 7 days are free, so you can kind of take a look at it, kick the tires, see if it's anything you want to do, and if it's great, the subscription will just continue, and you'll pay on that 7th day or 8th day, not sure, yeah, but 7th day, yeah. Now, if you want to go ahead and have each student have an account, there is an option for that too. We call it multiple user access. And that's where, again, if you want to have two or more students having their own account, and that's an additional $10 per each account. So if you have 2 students, it's $44.97. If you have 3 students, it's $54.97. Actually, if you have 4 students, it's only $54.97. And if you have 5 students, it's $54.97. So after you get that 3rd student, after that, above that, you're paying the same price as if you were paying for 3 students. Oops, I'm getting ahead of myself. My mouse is going crazy here. Here we go. All right. Where was I? Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. Maureen, my mouse just went crazy. Okay. The other option is if you don't want to pay for all the courses, you still have the ability to do what we call single course access. And that's $11.97 per course per month. So the great thing about that is if your students can, because it's a self-paced course, maybe they take a 12-week course and they get it done in 8 weeks, you're paying less than $24 for that one course. So that's another option. And if you want to carry over that subscription to another course, just shoot us an email and we'll connect you with another course. So the subscription will continue and we'll just move you from one course to another. Courses are used and fully embedded in our learning management system, which is Moodle. It has its own, each course has its own page, which basically it's its own syllabus. Everything from beginning to end is contained within Moodle. You just choose your course. The class begins when you want to start it. It ends when you want to end it as well. Class 1, students watch the recording. You'll complete the work and or quizzes that are contained within that week. You can view the courses on a laptop, a desktop, an iPad, a tablet, or a smartphone, all of the above, really. You can even connect it to your computer, or rather using your computer or any other mobile device, if you have the right adapter, you can connect it to your own TV screen, if you will, your own smart TV, or even a regular flat screen TV. Are there answer keys? Yes, most recorded courses offer free answer keys. There are situations where answer keys require like a unique composition. I'm sorry, the course has a unique composition, so it's an assignment that will provide a rubric, but it may be more involved than that. So that in that situation, parents would be the one responsible for grading that work, and again, rubrics would be provided. But if you as a parent would prefer not to do that, the vast majority of our courses the vast majority of them offer what we call Instructor Access. And this is a grading service. And effectively what it does is it allows the students to submit their assignments to the teacher who actually conducted the course. In most cases, there are some that are more like some courses are conducted by another instructor, but we brought in other teachers who are experts on that course to grade the assignments. That's usually our writing program. how that works out. But the point is that the students would be responsible for doing the work, writing out the essay as an example, submitting that to a teacher. Teacher would then grade the work and give that student the feedback necessary and ultimately a grade for the course as the assignments are turned in, ultimately receiving a grade that you could place on the student's transcript. It's a great way to get access to the teacher without paying for the live course cost, if you will. And to maintain the one thing that's important here about instructor access, as you might imagine, if there's, like, say, a 10-week course, or let's say a 12-week course, as an example, the teachers will allow some flexibility there for the students to turn in the course, but to turn in the assignments. But generally speaking, they need to stay within, let's say, 2 weeks of the end date of that course. So let's say they started the course on week 1, they should probably have everything turned in by week 14. They can't string it out to, let's say, week 26. That would not be fair to your student, and it wouldn't certainly be fair to the instructor to wait for all the assignments to be turned in, as you might imagine. So as we pointed out, that the instructor gets the opportunity to provide the feedback to your student. So they're getting direct access to that teacher. It is optional, by the way. It is an optional thing, and it is also it's an additional cost over and above the actual subscription itself, which we can get into. And those prices vary, actually, from $30 up to, I think the top end is around $99. I just answered that question. So, and we kind of pointed this out earlier, but one of the things that is really important as we kind of get away from our 2 service offerings and into the teachers and learning more about them, we look to teachers who are passionate. And we know that passion is a contagious sentiment that can resonate and can infect all the students in the class. So we pick teachers who love their subject matter and can't help to pass along their enthusiasm to the students. As Emerson used to say, nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. And to that end, we have instructors like Dr. Jean Ryu, who is the chair of the philosophy department at Benedictine College in Kansas, who excellent teacher. We have a popular professor, Joseph Pierce, who you may have seen his face on EWTN. He also makes a lot of speaking engagements across the country. He's actually going to be here in Texas this weekend, giving a talk in Fort Worth. Gary Mashuda has his own radio program, and he's a very popular Catholic author and expert in Catholic apologetics. He makes appearances on Catholic Answers, if you're familiar with that program. Kevin O'Brien, we mentioned him before. He is the host of EWTN's Theater of the Word and other specials, and his courses are fantastic, fun yet challenging. He actually did last year a book club, and this year he's going to be doing what is it, Ms. Maureen? Is it
He does the mystery theaters.
Mystery theater,
that's actually how he makes his living. That's his day job. He goes around the country and does these mystery theaters. But because of COVID, he hasn't been able to do those. So he brought it to our students. And so there's only a few seats left for that this summer, but he's also going to be doing one over Christmas. So he wrote original mystery theaters. The students come, you can volunteer to participate and be one of the actors, or you can just sit back and enjoy it and guess who done it. I'm going to interrupt us really quick too, Walter. Kathleen asks, how much is Instructor Access? So to just back up for a second, the price of Instructor Access is going to vary depending upon the course. So for example, a writing course, Instructor Access is going to be a little more expensive because the work is intensive. There's a lot more to it. So it just depends on the difficulty of the grading. In order to keep it affordable, Homeschool Connections is not involved. We don't take any kind of cut. There's no middleman. You work directly with the instructor. That money goes straight to the instructor. So we do that to keep it affordable. So it ranges in price anywhere from $15 to $109 per semester, just depending. Again, like $109 would be an upper level 12th grade writing course where they're writing a lot of research papers. So I hope that helps, Kathleen. It varies, and you can find that in the recorded course catalog, the prices. And it's also on each of the course pages, or you can email us if you have a question.
And Megan asked a question, is Instructor Access only for recorded courses or also for live? So live, and that's a good question because I don't think I specified. Live courses, that's already baked in. You get everything that comes with the, as you might imagine, everything that comes with the course. You get the grading, you get everything. It's already included. By the way, there's no additional registration fees, no nothing. What you see as the course price is the only price that you'll pay, except for maybe
No
books.
family fee, there's no, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Fun.
there might be a book which we provide the link to go buy, and we usually, our target is to keep the book costs very, very affordable because we're not looking for the latest and greatest typically, unless it's absolutely necessary for that subject matter to be
Well,
best.
we're looking for the greatest, but not necessarily the latest.
Well, that's probably a better way of putting it. So the greatest, but not the latest. Yeah. So and so that means older editions are going to be more. Usually, they're going to be more cost effective, and some courses don't involve any books like hard copy books. For example, our constitutional class, American democracy class, excuse me, uses just the original text. That there's a wonderful website called our founding father, like Founding Documents 101 or something like that. Anyway, it's a website full of all the different documents: the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and more focus, and in a number, and the Federalist Papers, the Anti-Federalist Papers, a number of things, right, that are accessible to the students just off the website. So it's a good resource, and we try to keep those material costs to a minimum as best as we can. So just moving on, as far as different teachers are concerned, Lisa Walladnick, she is the very popular Catholic speaker, author, founder of AmazingCatechist.com. She also is our podcast host, so she's wonderful there too. She gets a chance to interview a lot of wonderful people with a lot of wonderful topics. So we love her to death. She's fantastic. Tim Staples is the director of apologetics. Maureen mentioned him earlier, and the evangelization at Catholic Answers. He teaches a course on Mariology, and he teaches the nuts and bolts of apologetics. By the way, he wrote that book, so he's teaching something on what he wrote on. Erin Brown, she is the designer for the Aquinas Writing Advantage program, and she's been a professional writer and teacher for 45 years. She's authored 10 books, including Simplified Writing 101, which is used in the course, or in many of the writing courses, I should say. And there are a lot more. All right. So, Maureen, could you include the link to our website, in particular, the one that includes the link to the instructor page? We got some really good teachers, and you can see their videos.
I get someone asked about transcript forms. Where do we get transcript forms? So I'm going to post that link as well.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And with regard to the teachers, you can see their videos, and introduce many of them. There's still some that are work in progress off the homepage, so you can check out their picture if it's only a picture, but you can see their bio there. You can see what they're up to. It's pretty extensive off the new website. So. And one of the things that we like to try and do is we like to keep summer from just being a dead area where learning doesn't happen, and more importantly, not even just filling the hole. We'd rather not just fill the hole, but make it grow. Put a plant in there, if you will, in that hole, and let it grow. And so we like to make summer fun, and we have a lot of courses. Maureen may have mentioned this before. We have 42 summer courses that are upcoming, and we've never had that many, by the way. Maureen got carried away this year with scheduling, and we usually do about 10, 12, but we got 42 this year, and they're all fantastic, and they're all designed to either be preparatory in nature for the upcoming school year, so a good transitional course, if you will. Also, and more importantly, fun. they're designed to be that kind of course that, like, learning how to play chess, as an example. There is one on pandemic diseases. so, so you want to learn? We're right in the middle
Using
of
my
one. Why not learn
84
about it?
calculator,
Yeah,
getting ready for algebra 2, learning about time and space, learning about your 5 senses, coding with Minecraft, as I said before. There's a lot of really good ones.
yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff that's going on. I think we might have a list here. Here we go. Yeah, we have a list here. So so we've called out
Yes,
a few that,
you're
but
welcome.
we have a spelling boot camp. We have we talked about the chess, a drawing and art theory course. We have American Lives at Gettysburg, so a virtual tour. So they're going to really focus on Gettysburg and how paramount that was in during the Civil War. So there's just a lot of really cool things that are going on that we'd like for you to check out. And Maureen just put it out, the instructor link and the link that she provided earlier to the registration page. You'll also see, once you go there, the first courses that you'll see are going to be the summer courses. So Maureen, maybe we can repost that link.
The summer course link.
Just the link in general to the registration page, since the
Okay.
courses, the first
And
courses
whilst
are
I'm having trouble
be.
finding, yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm having trouble finding we have a brand new website, and I'm not finding the link for
The
the free
transcript.
transcript and record keeping.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll just include that in the email we send out to everybody. Let's just do that. We'll
Okay.
just include that. We'll include that in the
Okay.
email.
Yeah, that's getting
The
on the
link,
free
that email will have a
website.
summary of all the links that we've shared or we've talked about here. It'll also include the recording of the session tonight, and it'll include some other things that we haven't had a chance to talk that much about, but I think would be value to share. Or maybe we've alluded to it, but we haven't really hit on very much in the session tonight. The one thing we want to talk, just get the free course. You want to see what it's like to take a course with us. There's no better way than the favorite 4-letter word of free, which is how to be an excellent student course. That's offered throughout the year, as a matter of fact. But we have a number of them offered this school year, the summer. It's a great course that any student should take, frankly. And it's offered for middle and high school level students. And it's a 4-day class during the summer. During the school year, it's a 4-week class, but we condense it, so it's going to be Monday through Thursday.
Well, 4-day. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 days. So it's active listening, how to take notes. I know my kids would benefit from that as they get older, to be sure. Active reading, annotations, taking notes from a text, how to study effectively is in class 2. Class 3 talks about critical reading skills, specifically hitting on reading comprehension, and that's paramount nowadays. And class 4, how to take tests and test taking in a time setting. These are skills that students need to have right at their fingertips, and it's hard to find stuff like this in other locations, which is why we offer it. And it also gives you a free and easy way of seeing what kind of people we are, what kind of support we have, what kind of infrastructure we have to support you as a parent and your students as they continue their journey in homeschooling. We mentioned the conferences. Go to the CatholicHomeschoolConference.com site. It's not just one conference and done. It's the conference that's coming up in May, of course, but there's a whole community that's surrounding. There's 3,500, 3,600 people in the community that we'd invite you to be a part of, that from all over the world, that are there to help you. They're bouncing ideas off one another. They're asking each other questions and giving each other answers. It's completely organic, and it's just a wonderful space. Can't recommend it enough. Can't speak of it highly enough. It's CatholicHomeschoolConference.com, and there you have it. There's the conference that starts in just a little less than a month from now, as a matter of fact. So how can you integrate Homeschool Connections into your homeschool? Well, you can do it in a number of ways. A full program from like the writing program. You can just focus on a specific subject area if you want, or you can take individual courses. Uh, if you can't find a particular subject area that you need, and maybe a local co-op or what have you, and you need that one course to put on your transcript, we're good for that. We're good in these other areas as well. It's our endeavor to support you in whatever way you need. Our courses are purchased a la carte, meaning the live courses, and you could even make the same argument for unlimited access or for the recorded courses. You can purchase courses individually, so what you need at that point in time is available to you at your fingertips.
So Walter, quick question. Victoria asks, I joined late and she wants to join tomorrow too. This recording, I know we send it out via email to everyone once we're done, but will it be in Mighty Networks? Will it be in the community?
Yeah, I'll post it there as well. So, and I'll include the summary notes as well, along with the links. So we will definitely be addressing that for sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks.
So we now get to accreditation. Maureen, I will ask you to be involved in this part of the presentation, but we aim not to be accredited, and that's on purpose. We look at the parents as the ultimate accrediting standard. You have a higher standard than any other accrediting agency, period. And in most cases, not all, but in most cases, accreditation is not necessary to get to the next level beyond high school. There are a few exceptions. Some of the military academies require accreditation. If you're going to be part of like NCAA sports, they highly recommend it. In fact, it becomes a bit of a challenge in some cases.
It's not required.
But it's not
required. We have NCAA parents who do school connections exclusively, and they have to jump through some extra hoops.
Yeah, there's some more hoops, but it's not required. Yeah. And if you're aiming to go from homeschooling to say a public school setting, not a requirement. Usually there's a testing standard that you'll have to make to get into that to the level, if you will, your student needs to be.
Yeah, just always check with the school, because every now and then you'll hear some horror story of a public school who will not accept a homeschool student and want them to start all over a grade earlier or something. So always check to make sure, if that's in your plans, but typically you don't need accreditation, but there are those rare cases. So if you're planning on putting your child into a site-based school in high school, check with that school. Same with colleges. 99% of colleges do not require accreditation. But there are a couple of rare cases, public universities in New York and California. Again, just very few schools, but just always check to make sure, because things can change. But like Walter said, we are not accredited on purpose. We will never be accredited. We offer individual courses. We are not a school. Now, we do have people who are signed up with accredited schools who do classes with us. So for example, if you were to sign up with Colby Academy, because you want an accredited transcript, Colby Academy accepts all of Homeschool Connections courses on their transcript. So if you do a live interactive course, they accept that grade that we assign. If you do a recorded course, they would want samples of work to make sure that it agrees with the grade that you as the parent assigned. But accreditation comes with some baggage, which is why we will never be accredited. One, it increases the costs considerably. It's a very long and difficult process. Homeschool Connections prices would double on the spot. Another reason is accrediting ties your hands. And with a lot of things we're seeing happen in our culture these days, for example, more and more style manuals are changing over to gender neutral pronouns, things like that. So we don't want anyone to tell us how to teach our students. We want to always be able to teach them within the faith and teach them the way we teach them. Also, our courses are not static. We don't teach the same curriculum every year. We, like Walter said earlier, right? Our teachers designed their own courses. We don't create curriculum and then just plug teachers in. We let them do what they do best. And so if a NASA scientist comes to me and says, I want to teach, space flight science, I want to say yes,
Yeah.
Right? Mike Jurek, who is an amazing music
Composer.
professor from an Ivy League school who's won an Academy Award. He teaches music for us. And I'm not going to tell Michael Kirk no, because it hasn't been accredited. That accreditation takes years. So those are the reasons we're not accredited. And if you have any questions about that, never hesitate. Again, you can type in chat or you can email me or call me if you have questions about accreditation. Happy to go deeper into that.
And we even have an article on it. And I'll put that in here so you can take a
Yeah,
look
and
at
I
it.
even had an article published at catholicmom.com on the topic of accreditation.
Yeah, and so we purposely want, as Maureen pointed out, we explained it very well, I think, in the that article. So take a look at that if you want to revisit it. And we'll include that in the
And LaDonna,
summary.
yeah, and LaDonna also asks, what is the range of cost for live courses? So, LaDonna, kind of like Instructor Access, the price is going to range a little bit depending on the difficulty of the course, the length of the course. So the typical 12-week, one semester course is going to be $177 early enrollment. So our most expensive course is chemistry. That's a pretty intense course. I don't recommend it for 9th or 10th grade. I would say that's a good 11th to 12th grade course. That's our most expensive course, which I think is about $275 a semester. But
277.
most courses are going to run between $175, $200 and
Around
early.
a $200 range. I mean, I think that's the vast majority of our classes.
Yeah, I always tell if people say like how much I budget, I would budget $200 per course per semester, just because that gives you a little leeway for buying textbooks and things. If you purchase courses in early enrollment, so for fall, that means registering before July 15th.
Definitely.
So it's not like you have to register tomorrow. The prices go up $20 for the fall classes on July 16th. So, but I don't know what's going to happen with registration. Last year, a lot of courses filled up and closed because of the pandemic. I don't know that will happen this year, but I would register as early as possible just to make sure you get a seat, but also so you save that $20 per course.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so another thing that we offer, and I think it's a unique opportunity, whether your student's enrolled with Homeschool Connections or not, it's not relevant here, but if you want to know how good your student is at writing, we have this wonderful writing assessment that you can look at, evaluate their grammar abilities, which is, I think, $15 for that, if I'm not mistaken. And then if you really want an in-depth analysis, and I think it's like a 14-page assessment of your students' skill set or their level of writing. And we've created this and so that we have a fully baked writing program. It's really important to know where your student stands and all of that. Meaning where should you place your student? Should they, if they're a 10th grader, should they start at the 10th grade level? Or should they might actually start at the 9th grade level, which is by no means a bad thing, because the writing program is designed to build a critical approach to writing. And it's important to start at the beginning of this particular program because of that right there. Now, your student may possess that. The writing assessment is designed to reveal that. And so we have developed a writing assessment to help place your student in the appropriate level in our writing program. But you can take that assessment and those results and carry them over to other places if you wish. But it's really imperative to at least get a better idea of what your student's able to do in the shadow, if you will, of our writing program. So, and I already hit on this. The full assessment it takes everything: the punctuation, grammar, full essay analysis, and it gives a questionnaire to match your students' writing goals. And then there's the other one. It's the punctuation and grammar only, and those price points and those you can request those things through our website at homeschoolconnectionsonline.com or just homeschoolconnections.com. Either way, you'll land in the same spot. So one of the things that's kind of a recent development, I know we're after time, but thank you for staying with us. We're almost done. I promise you. But we've been trying to give the students an opportunity. They've been clamoring for a long time. Give us something more. Give us something more. We want to connect with one another. We want to do this. We want to do that. Well, we thought no better way. This year, we only launched it recently, what we call the Student Bistro. It's a place for the kids to connect. And it's so cool. I got some highlights here for you. One, we do a weekly rosary with them. And they actually it's with the parents too. So on Monday mornings and Friday afternoons, we get together as parents and students alike to say a rosary. Every Friday night, there's a game night. These are all adult. By the way, the Student Bistro is adult monitored by not just one person, but by 5 or 6 people. So we keep careful eye on what activities going on. There's no private chatting or anything like that. It is designed though for the students to engage one another. And so Friday night games, we have a game night where they're either playing a game called Among Us or Minecraft. We have our own Minecraft server. So the students can actually have fun in a Catholic environment with other Catholic kids, if you will, using Minecraft. We have a talent show. We just hosted it, which was fantastic. We had 17 kids show us their best abilities, from juggling to playing the guitar to playing the violin.
It was so good.
It was amazing. These kids are very talented, and it lasted for an hour, and parents and students alike were able to sit in and watch them put their best performance out there. We also hosted a video contest, which some of those videos can be seen on our testimonial page. You'll see some of the videos there. But we have but the kids, the first place got $500 for doing a great job, and then it was $250 for second, and then $100 for the kids who tied for third. There are 3 third place ties. So again, very, very impressive talent. We're going to actually host this summer. We're going to host a logo design contest. Maureen and I, a t-shirt design contest.
Free t-shirt. Oh yeah, a t-shirt design.
T-shirt design contest. So the artists out there who want to create a unique t-shirt for us, we're going to give them the chance to win a prize while using that design for our own t-shirts. So why not empower them to use their talents to help us? And because Maureen, God does know that Maureen and I cannot draw, and so we can. And so we turn to the kids to see what they can put together. So we're very excited about that.
People have asked for a t-shirt, so this way we can provide what people have asked us for in a fun way, make it fun for the students.
And the parent life outside of class, we mentioned the weekly rosary. We have a Friday afternoon tea. I think that's changing a bit. They may be on a monthly basis instead of weekly. Parent office hours, we have that, which is usually held on Tuesday nights, but we're having, in place of that, we're doing this. And we mentioned the talent show.
Walter, what age can the students join the Student Bistro? Is that
the students have to be members of Homeschool Connections, either through the limited access or taking a live course this school year. So it's middle schoolers and up. That's the goal. So keep it. Yeah. And it's worth pointing out that
and they have to have the parents' permission.
They have to have the parents' permission. Exactly right.
We
invite the parent and the parent invites the student. That's how this works. We want the students to have full parent permission, which is why we invite the parents first to then ask the students. So if you want that to happen, just send us an email. But again, it's with the caveat that the students are part of Homeschool Connections already. And but you can join the parent community. As Maureen pointed out, there's a link in there. Join the parent community, because why? Parents are asking each other questions all the time. It's a great place to get answers. Maureen and I and our staff are already in there, so we're answering questions all the time. Consider it like a Facebook page without all the Facebook stuff. You don't need to be a part of Facebook to enjoy what everything else we do, which is
completely ad-free. There's no ads.
No ads, no nothing. It's just us.
Facebook stuff. Yeah, it's just us.
It's its own ecosystem. Yeah. To kind of put a bow on this one, we did publish a book called Why Should I Learn This? And the whole point of this is to encourage parents to be able to give effective answers to their students when they're asked the question, why don't they learn Latin? Why don't they learn algebra? Why don't they learn history, American history, philosophy? It's a compilation of essays that some of our teachers and other experts in their field answered these questions. What is the value of a particular subject? And this is a book that we have available. It's available at Behold Publications online. It's kind of one of those transcendent books because the essays there are applicable for any generation, frankly, and they're designed to be evergreen because it's a question that often parents are asked. They can't give good answers to, at least in some cases, at least satisfactory answers to their students. This is a great way to give those answers to those students. So to get more information, check us
Really
out
quick.
at.
Yeah, it's
Go
just
ahead.
super quick. Stephanie asks in the Q&A, her internet booted her off. So what's the definition of middle school? What grades? Our youngest is 11, so I'm guessing she counts already. So yeah, we count middle school as 6th to 8th grade. So I think 11 is in there.
Yep, it's about right. Yeah, it's on the early part of 6th grade for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that the only question?
Yep. Sorry.
Okay,
So
okay.
go ahead.
All right, I just made sure. All right. So check out our course catalogs. We're gonna have that updated, but again, it's online at homeschoolconnections.com. Give us a call anytime. Now you'll get the voicemail, but we respond within 24 hours. We have the best staff, and I'm not
Unless
just
it's
saying
a holy day or a weekend.
yeah, exactly. But they're so
I'm not going to reply to your email on Christmas, but I will the next day.
yeah, exactly. But we're really good about responding. So do not
We are.
think that your email or your voicemail will not be addressed. Okay, we have a wonderful staff that gets back to you very, very quickly. And you can always email us at homeschoolconnections@gmail.com. You can even go to the contact form on our homepage and fill out that too. We get notified immediately that someone's left us a question.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of questions come in thus far, but we'll stick around to answer any other remaining questions that you may have. So feel free to post them now, and we'll be happy to answer them. But otherwise,
Yeah, we've had some great questions. I really
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah, we're just glad that you came. And
Yeah.
if there's, and again, we'll post a recording of this. We'll send this out through email to everybody who couldn't make it and everyone who did. This is also all the links that we've shared here, as well as some of the things we've alluded to. We'll include in an email and in the community. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, and if you think of a question after you leave, like you know how it is, right? If you're like me, you as soon as you leave, oh, why didn't I ask that? Drop us an email or call us. So
thank you, Kathleen. It's Walter
and I have worked together how long now? 13 years?
Yeah, 13 years and not one argument publicly.
We're still friends. Yeah. I just I'm like, I've never been mad at Walter.
Maureen and I get along very
He's
well.
irritating sometimes, and I'm irritating sometimes.
I can be irritating.
But well, he's a practical joker.
I tend to do a little bit.
Yeah, he likes to tease. He likes
just a little bit.
But yeah, no, we get along great. So it's just really a blessing. And it's part of Homeschool Connections' success is that we are able to work together so well. And we're both really committed. That was the great thing when we first met one another, when Walter and his wife came up and met my husband and myself, was that we really had the same vision. Yep. You know, that we are just really committed to you and really committed to serving the Catholic homeschooling community the best way we can. We want to give back what the Catholic homeschooling community has given us. So
LaDonna asks, what's the typical number of classes a student will take, either live or recorded? That's a very good question. And frankly, it's a hard one to answer because
there is no typical, so let's talk a little bit about that. So Homeschool Connections, when Walter and I first started, our plan was to offer 3 or 4 courses a semester. That was it, right? We never envisioned that we would have 200 courses in a school year, or 450 and recorded even. So, we're designed to be supplemental. And so, but a lot of people do use us as a full curriculum. So It just depends how we serve so many different types of homeschoolers that there is no typical student. We have students who sign up with home study schools with Seton, Mother Divine Grace, Colby, et cetera,
Colby,
will take classes with us. Or we'll have
co-op, local co-op.
unschoolers who will, we have a lot of unschoolers because we offer a lot of out-of-the-box courses. And, or we have people who are real eclectic. And so even in my own homeschool, and Walter does this too, we have local co-op,
Mhm.
but we also do homeschool connections classes. So, I would say a high school student, I mean, typically, whether it's at Homeschool Connections or elsewhere, if you're combining them from different places, I mean, typically you're gonna do 7 or 8 courses a semester for high school. You're gonna do math, English. So English can be writing and literature, or in my homeschool, I actually break that out as 2 different subjects. You're gonna have science. You're gonna have theology. I hope logic. I really encourage you all to do formal logic or philosophy. Um, so let's see, reading, writing, arithmetic. What have I missed? I got science, math, literature. You're also going to do some courses of interest, so maybe computer science, accounting. Yeah. So if you go to the website, that we do have sample scopes and sequences.
Yeah.
If you don't know what a scope and sequence is, that is a
What
scope.
classes to take and when
What
to
am I
take.
going to teach? And a sequence is when.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I'm going to get distracted for a second. I'm going to type in the website so that I can get that link to you. So the scope and sequence page has this really cool form that I use with my own children. So I just took what I use with my kids. Right, that's a lot of homeschool connections, what Walter and I do with our children, what we find we need for our homeschool, because it wasn't really being met by others when we started. So that's how we serve you, is by like, what do we need? We ask ourselves that, and we ask you too, what do you need? But the scope and sequence form, it takes you through a series of questions, and it helps you visualize. It makes it easy for you to decide, oh, okay, this is what we need to take this year. And I would sit down with my kids and do it with them. So it asks questions like, what does my child need to take in high school to graduate in, my state? What classes have we already taken? What classes does my child need to take to go to the college they want to go to, or the trade school they're planning on? What are my child's special interests? So, for example, if you have a child who wants to take accounting, so it just walks you through those steps.
Yeah. So, and I think, we you can take some class. Some students only take one class, like the excellent student, the free how to be an excellent student course. Some will take as many classes as they can
Yeah, when we have
like.
people who will sign up for 7 or 8.
It's
So,
just
it just depends on your
the
family's
range
need.
is varying, and LaDonna, one thing you could do if you haven't already been to the community, go to the community, the parent community, um, and if you're not already in there, join. And that's a great question to ask,
Yeah.
because you will see a variety of answers come through. And maybe the better question is, what's your student's favorite class or favorite instructor? Because you'll hear a lot of reasons why this is their favorite class or favorite instructor, and so on and so forth. And that, I think that's the endeavor, right? To give kids access to people that really love what they do and what they teach, because that translates into performance, and at least it does most of the time anyway. And so yeah, I mean, that's a great question to ask, and I think you post in the community. We'd love to. It'd be great to hear what they had to say. I'd love to hear what the other parents have to say about that. If there's no other questions, I don't think there are.
Yeah, I think we can call it tonight.
We just want to say again, thank you for coming. It's been our pleasure to have you here with us. And I would just say that if you have any specific questions, um, just reach out to us at homeschoolconnections.com, or there's
Well, homeschoolconnections at
that's
gmail.com is the email.
that's what I meant to say. Yeah, I think it's time for me to hang it up. Call us.
You can call us
At
the numbers at the
888.
website.
Yeah, the website, the number's there, but we also mentioned it here. But it's 888-372-4757. Or
Oh, you're good.
I know.
I can never
And
remember that phone number.
and email us. We'd love to have you here. We'd love to have you ask questions.
Poor
Because we
stuff.
know this is probably just the beginning for some of you trying to explore what your options are, realizing that. We know that, but we don't want this to be the only time you get your answers. We're here to help any way we can. So feel free to reach out.
Yep, God
In the
bless you all
meantime,
so
we
much.
have a blessed evening and a great week. And know that we're only a phone call or an email away. And I see some Q&A stuff, Maureen. Is there any of those questions coming in or?
Hold on. Nope, just thank you. And poor Stephanie, she
Oh,
had bad internet
oh,
all night. So
I'm sorry, 70. All right.
yeah.
Well, if if we can again be of any help to you guys, just let us know. And until then, have a good night. God bless, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow night for the
Night is the
for the
grade school. So
grade
there'll be
school.
me and Jackie De La Viega, the creator and teacher of the grade school program.
And a week from tonight is the writing program one. So if you haven't signed up for that one, sign up for that one. The Aquinas Writing Advantage open house is a week from tonight. So sign up for that too.
Maren will be doing that one. She's super efficient. She'll be done on time.
Don't do that. That's, I will not say that. I'm not going to put her in a box. But yeah, give it a go. Those are great. Those are going to be great ones.
All right.
Hey, good
Thanks
night,
again.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.